When they say illegal versus legal immigration, they are trying to end legal status in the United States as well. Correct, Governor Pritzker, with the end of TPS and making people undocumented by removing legal status, ending legal status, and then having the audacity to call them illegal when they were here documented, correct?
Taking students' visas away from people, taking their legal right to be in the United States away from them when they've been granted maybe years earlier to stay.
So I don't want to hear about how this is about illegal versus legal immigration. They are attacking legal status and removing legal status. The Republican majority is anti-legal immigration in the United States. And I want to make that very clear, and I yield back.
Chair now recognizes
Mr. Chair, unanimous consent request.
Mr. Frost.
Unanimous consent request into the record a NBC article, Senator Alex Padilla removed from news conference with Homeland Security Secretary Noem.
All right, without objection to order.
I have another one, the Hill article, Padilla forcibly removed from Noem press conference.
Without objection to order.
And I have a third one, Axios, Democratic Senator forcibly removed from DHS press conference.
Without objection to order.
Mr. Chair, also, we were just talking about this. I want to know if you can commit to working with us so we can subpoena.
You're out of order. Chair recognizes
I have
Ms.
a point
Green.
I have a point of order.
No.
I have a point of order.
State your point.
We need to subpoena.
That's not
Secretary
a point of order.
Noem.
Chair recognizes
We
Ms.
just talked
Green.
about this
No, it's
earlier.
not a point.
We talked
Thank
about
you, Mr. Chairman.
You already had
Reclaiming
your
my
chance to get on
time.
MSNBC.
Reclaiming my
Chair recognizes
time.
Ms.
thrown
Green.
to the ground.
Reclaiming my time.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and the Republican majority is anti-legal immigration in the United States, and the whole world needs to know. Now let that sink in. We're not talking about people sneaking across the border. We're talking about people who have been here for years, legally.
And handcuffed in his own damn
Oh,
state.
Democrats can't follow the rules. Can't follow
Chair
the law.
recognizes Ms. Green.
Can't
Here,
follow the
let's
rules.
go.
Can't
We
follow
need
the
to
law.
subpoena Kristi Noem. It's
Chair
her
recognizes
staff.
Ms. Green.
DHS federal
There's a
officers
privilege of
that
the
threw a
majority,
US
and that
senator
means
to the
we're in
ground.
charge,
Just
not
this
your
morning we were
side.
talking about this
Because
happening to
you
governors.
lost the
All right, Ms.
election.
Green, we're going to start the
Because
clock.
you
You have
supported
anything
the
to say about
invasion
that?
of our
Mr.
country.
All right.
It's my
Will
time.
you
Hold it.
commit on the record
Stop
to
the
work
clock.
My
to
time.
subpoena
Thank you,
Kristi
Mr.
Noem?
Chairman. Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Republicans are a danger to our democracy. They are destroying our future, breaking the systems, and then blaming the victims. And the second someone calls it out, they lose it. They panic. They scream. They start projecting because they don't want the public to realize this isn't about safety. It's about control. And it's about lining their pockets with billionaire campaign money while tearing people's lives apart.
You're out of order. Chair recognizes
Will
Ms.
you
Green.
commit on the record
you.
to subpoenaing Kristi Noem because a U.S. senator was just thrown to the ground and detained in his own
Democrats
state?
Frost,
can't follow the
you're
rules.
out of
Can't
order.
follow the law.
Will you
Can't
commit-
follow the
Shut
rules.
up. Just shut
Will you?
up.
No, you don't. No,
shut
you're
up.
not going to tell me to shut up.
Let's how do you get him in order? You're running for the
Not like that.
he has been out of order 6 times. He's trying to get on MSNBC. You probably knocked
I get it.
somebody off
I don't have any problem
MSNBC
getting
to
on
get on there.
MSNBC. That's
Ms.
not
I
Green,
think as he's been arrested as a
recognized.
former
Yeah, well,
Antifa
okay,
member,
here.
right?
Back to
Antifa.
order, Ms. Green. Go.
But he's a
Go.
former
All
Antifa
right, Ms.
member,
Green.
Mr.
You're
Chairman.
recognized. You got
no
it.
surprise.
Who's a former
Yours.
Antifa member? Me?
Yeah, you.
I asked that these words be taken down.
No, Ms. Green,
Thank you.
you're
I
recognized.
asked
Thank
that these
you,
words
Mr.
be taken
Chairman.
down.
There's a motion.
Governor
Ms.
Hochul,
Green is recognized.
Governor
I asked that
Hochul,
these
you
words be
stated
taken down.
that you're a proud Democrat, proud registered
All right,
Democrat.
we got to
need to
suspend.
retract.
There's been a parliamentary move. They said they weren't going to do that. What's the...
This craziness all went down in a recent House Oversight Committee hearing, chaired by none other than James Comer. And let me tell you, it wasn't a hearing. It was a meltdown, a full-blown political circus. It was an embarrassment. It wasn't about governance. It was about performative fascism, political cosplay with microphones. And Marge the Trainwreck Green, her voice was cutting through the room like nails on a chalkboard or chewing on tinfoil. She's out there acting like some kind of make-believe drill sergeant while defending a party that literally had members asking for preemptive pardons after January 6th. But yeah, we're the ones who don't follow the rules. We're the ones who don't obey the law. Give us a break. And right at the head of the snake, James Comer. Instead of restoring order, instead of running a real hearing, he starts shouting like some kind of high school wrestling coach. And when Congressman Maxwell Frost brought up subpoenaing Kristi Noem to hold her accountable for the illegal detainment of a U.S. senator, Comer cut him off and told him to shut up.
And balancing. Sir, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your
I also want to
hands off.
typically how many of our ICE agents have been docked.
On the ground. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you don't my hands, go ahead, put behind my back.
All right. Cool. One hand. Lay flat. Lay flat.
Will
Ms.
you
Green.
commit on the record
you.
to subpoenaing Kristi Noem because a U.S. senator was just thrown to the ground and detained in his own
Democrats
case?
can't follow the rules,
out of
can't
order.
follow the law,
Will you
can't
commit-
follow the
Shut
rules.
up. Just shut
Will
up.
No, you don't. No,
Shut
you're
up.
not going to tell me to shut up.
How do you get him in order? You're running for
Not like that.
That's what this was really about. Shut down the truth, protect their own, attack anyone who pushes back. And since Wednesday was Juneteenth, we need to talk about what that really means. It marked the day of 1865 when the last group of enslaved people in Galveston, Texas were finally told that they were free. 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. Freedom delayed is freedom denied. And if that offends you, you need to take a long, hard look at yourself, because that means you're siding with the oppressor. Now, think about what's happening today. Immigrants who've lived here for decades, legally, are being told that their status is gone. They're being ripped from their homes, their families, their lives, and then labeled illegal like it's a brand. That's not justice, that's cruelty. If you can celebrate Juneteenth while supporting this immigration agenda, you're missing the entire point. This isn't about laws, it's about power, and it's about who they think deserves freedom in the first place. Something to think about. I happened to be on social media scrolling past one of the many posts about all of the chaos going on, and one post in particular hit me like a freight train. It said, "This isn't about immigration anymore. This is ethnic cleansing." And when I stopped and sat with that, it sent chills through my body, because it seems that he's right. That's exactly what this is. They just deported a man who had a green card for over 50 years. He lived in this country for over 60. This is an elderly man who's known nothing but America his entire life. Gone, deported, no crime, no threat, just erased. That's not immigration policy. That's targeting. That's erasure. And the reason this is so urgent, the reason I'm sounding this alarm, is because this kind of thing doesn't stop with deportation. I love history, and I looked. I tried to find a moment where mass revocation of rights like this didn't end in industrial scale violence, and I couldn't. Deportation fails. It always fails. And when it fails, those in power turn to something darker. Because when bureaucracy can't cleanse fast enough, they look for faster tools. That's how it starts. And history proves it every damn time. This is why they melted down in that committee. This is why Marge, the Trainwreck Green, was yelling like a banshee about Democrats not following the rules. This is why James Comer lost control of his own hearing. Because when the truth was actually getting too close, Congressman Maxwell Frost brought receipts. He submitted news reports, NBC, The Hill, Axios, all confirming that a sitting U.S. Senator, Alex Padilla, had been forcibly removed from a Homeland Security press event involving Kristi Noem. And when Frost pushed to subpoena Noem, Comer cut him off and told him to shut up. That's what all the chaos was for. It wasn't spontaneous. It was strategy. Scream louder than the truth. Make it look like dysfunction instead of a cover-up. But I see it, and so do you. This wasn't about keeping order. It was about silencing the people demanding accountability. And that right there tells you everything that you need to know. And don't even get me started on the double standards. Al Franken had to resign over a staged photo from 2006. But Mike Lee jokes about the assassination of a Democrat lawmaker on social media, and not a damn thing happens. Lauren Boebert gets caught groping her date during a Beetlejuice show, and they act like she's the second coming of Betsy Ross. Marge the Trainwreck Green asked for a pardon before January the 6th, and she's somehow sitting on a government committee yelling about law and order? Right. The hypocrisy isn't subtle. It's the entire strategy. Break the rules, blame the victims, and then accuse Democrats of doing the very thing they're guilty of. It's not just projection. It's gaslighting with a gavel. Let's be clear. I don't want Kristi Noem suffering from allergic reactions because she went to a suspicious place with RFK Jr. I want her held accountable. And that's exactly what Maxwell Frost was trying to do in that hearing. Let's not lose sight of that. He wasn't grandstanding. He wasn't screaming. He was doing his job, asking for a subpoena to hold Kristi Noem responsible for what happened to Senator Padilla. And he got shut down. Noem should absolutely be subpoenaed. She should absolutely resign or be removed. She's unfit. She's unqualified, and her record proves it. She's turning ICE and DHS into her own little cosplay kingdom, and guess what? They're almost out of money. Her mismanagement, her PR stunts, her cruelty, it's draining the system. But the cost isn't just budget lines. It's people's lives. She's not a leader. She's a liability. And the American people deserve better. We're not going to shut up about that. Not now, not ever. And I'll tell you something else. What they did to Senator Padilla, that was illegal. And they don't want to be held accountable for it. They want to laugh. They want to mock. They want to talk over the people who are actually doing the work. But this isn't a game. This is people's lives. Maxwell Frost was right to bring it up. Kristi Noem deserves to be subpoenaed, and it amazes me that the second someone like Frost stands up and demands answers, they jump to shut him down. They should all be allowed to take it behind the chambers and settle it and move on with working for the American people. But they won't, because what they're doing is absolute garbage. This isn't leadership. It's cover for corruption, and Maxwell Frost was absolutely right to call it out. And that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.